All right, so if you see behind me, I've got something kind of new to tinker with here on Corey's Garage. And I bet all this time you thought, oh, all this guy's gonna mess with the Chevrolets and all that kind of stuff. But no, I actually mess with Fords and I like them. So what we have here is a 1973 Ford Maverick, 256 cylinder, automatic. I don't know what rear end gear's in it, but it's a pretty good cruising car. At the moment, it does not run. It was running. It has recently been running. Somebody's actually kept up pretty good and painted it. So this isn't like something I drug out of the field or anything like that. It's just a car that needs just a little bit of tinkering to be running and driving. I went and picked it up a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard it run yet, so I don't know, but it's got gas, it's got oil in it. Everything looks to be fine. It just needs some typical maintenance on it. It's a really sweet little car, though. I like these. I know a lot of you probably don't remember these. I've actually owned one of these, and I did a V8 swap on it and everything. It was a really cool car. The front end leaves a lot to be desired for me on these, getting them in a line and staying that away, and actually putting a wider engine. You don't have that much room with the shock towers. You have to notch the shock towers or put a Mustang 2. Like if I was to do another one of these, I would do the Mustang 2 front end. That way I have so much more engine choice. I can put as wide engines as I want and get rid of those shock towers completely. That's what I would do. And actually I had a 76 that I had got. It had like 35,000 miles. This is from Iowa. It had a little rust on the bottom, but I had made some panels and fixed it. And it had a pretty good paint job on it. It just needed light rust repair. Well, I had lived over in Tulsa called Brookside, but right on the street of me. I had the car parked in the church parking lot next to the house with my ex-girlfriend. And I came out one morning and I would imagine somebody, drunk, smashed the left front of it and just caved. They ended up bending the shock towers out of the line like 2 inches. Sorry for the it's pretty windy out here. But yeah, so I got the car fixed and then the motor blew up and then I done a V8 swap. I tried to put a 350 on Windsor and it wouldn't fit, and the shock towers on that car were just perfectly painted. I couldn't bring myself to cut it up, so I just put a 302 in it, got it running and driving, and I was just like, man, it's what I want, but I didn't like the front end under it, and I rebuilt all of it, but for me to go that next step, it would cost a lot of money. So, yeah, I'll do a walk around with this one, check it out. So yeah, it's a pretty sharp little car. It's been sitting outside. This is, again, it doesn't run, so I had to unload it right where it is. But yeah, 73 was the last year of the small back bumper, and they started putting that crash bumper on the front. 74, 5, and 6 would have had those huge bumpers on it and everything. And actually on mine, I had done the bumper swap on it, and I had to buy 3 different Mavericks to get all the parts to do it. These things are very hard to find, but they're pretty cool. It's definitely got a good stance, and it's got a pretty decent little paint job on it. And the interior is the exact same color as the one I had. Now I did try to roll this window down, and I think something's broken in the regulator, so that kind of needs to be jacked with. If I have time, I'll try to mess with it. But yeah, man, look at that. It even smells exactly like the one I had. But yeah, a little bit of a seat cover. It's got a little tear right there, and a headliner, and you've got yourself a solid car, man. And if you want to be different than Mustangs, this is basically as close to a Mustang as you can get. It's almost the same thing. But yeah, it doesn't do anything with that. It's just completely dead. Yeah, it's got nothing. But yeah, this one has the 250 straight 6 in it, and it's actually the one I had and everything. Like I said, it's exactly like this one, the one I had. But it was actually a really good torquey engine. Like, I had no complaints about the power. You could definitely have enough power to drive down the highway 70 all day. It probably got like 15, 16 miles to the gallon. It wasn't the best on fuel, but it was pretty good though. I really liked it. I thought it was a pretty good car, but for me to want to, get one of these and fix it up and build it again, I would definitely put a Mustang 2 front end in it, and that way I could put any engine of my liking in it. And you would have a pretty light, solid street car. It'd be pretty awesome. Like like I said, I like these cars. These things are cool, man. So if you know, with Mustangs being the way they are, you can. I haven't seen one for sale in a while, but if you could find one, it'd be a great platform to start. And you could get by with this front end design if you give it the 302, 289 range, or LS swapped, or whatever you want to do. I mean, but I don't know. I'd rather have a better front end. But yeah, already, the first thing I noticed, and that's what we're going to do today. Look at these cables, man. This is the ground. It's just, this is probably original to this car. Now I did remove the hot cable that goes over here to this side. See right there. And I had to go get a real short hot cable for that. But actually, I've had a lot, like these Fords are weird, man. If these connections aren't perfect, you won't get anything. And that's where Chevys, man, you can just set the cable on there. You don't even have to push it down tight. It seems like the connections work better. I guess it's because of the solenoid here. I don't know. But every Ford I've had, if these terminals aren't clean and spotless, it's kind of a pain. So, but yeah, let's change these cables and see if we can get something out of this car. But yeah, they've definitely been in here. They put a new voltage regulator on it over here, a new solenoid. It's got a new fuel pump. Looks like the ignition's been serviced. So, and I was kind of glancing earlier. It does look to have a new carburetor on it. So this may be pretty easy. May not have a whole lot to do, just some basic stuff. They did say something was popping in the front end, so I'm going to look that over. But all in all, this should be pretty easy. So I'm going to get started. So the next thing I got to do is change out this cruddy ground. This thing's probably, I would be willing to bet, maybe every bit as old as I am. So what it does, can't get much focus, it goes to the side of the engine. So I'm going to try to put it back in the factory location here. I don't know if you can see where the ratchet is up in there, but it looks like it's on the side of that accessory right there. Yeah, you probably can't see it. Oh, maybe right there. But yeah, so we're going to undo that bolt and string this old cable out, and we're going to install this new one. And that should get us some spark going on here. Light a fire in this thing, man, where we can see if the old 6-cylinder will do something. I'm pretty excited, man. I like doing this. So let's get to it. And after I get it running and everything, I'm going to pull it in the garage and stuff, so I'm not walling around on the ground. So here we go. If this battery is any good, which that I have not tested either, but I got the ground on there. I'm gonna clean that up just for now to get going. What's that? I'll find out here in a minute. That's why I'm gonna go over a few things and see what a lot of this stuff is done. But I put the positive on there. I tightened all this stuff, make sure it's okay. Clean the connections. So let's go in here and see what we've got here. Uh-oh, that's a good sign. The buzzer, I love that buzzer sound. Let me roll this window down, it's pretty hot in here. So I love that buzzer sound. Let's see what we've got. I'm gonna do the 2 pump. Woo, it works. Got a belt squealing, that's all right. That's good news. Yeah, very good news. Let's go out here and have a look. Yeah, I knew it wouldn't take very much to get this up and kicking. Again, I have not touched this. I haven't done nothing to it, so. Ooh, we got a heck of an exhaust leak here. These are pretty bad about cracking like the exhaust manifolds and really the donut gasket that goes on the head pipe that goes to the ball. I mean, that could be leaking for all I know. I literally know nothing about this car. Well, I'd like them all to be that easy. Yeah, that's excellent. They got some different kind of headlights in there. Well, that's great news, man. I'll get a little camera mounted in here and we'll see if this thing will move. So this will be the fastest first drive I've ever done. Let's see what we got here. So it's still in the fast idle. Feels okay, but it's not good. As far as the tune is not that great. Let's drop it down. Oh, it's got good brakes on it. Oh yeah, that's the thing I really like about these little Ford 6-cylinders. I haven't driven I can't even remember if I've driven any Chevrolet 6-cylinders, but man, these things have excellent torque, especially the bigger ones, the 250, the 300 straight six. They've got really, really good torque. So, holy crap, dude, this will be the quickest first drive I've done. So yeah, it's definitely got some vacuum leaks, I think. Almost ran over my cat. Oh yeah, check that out. That's what I say, the front ends are kind of whack on these things, man. Definitely got some tune-up issues. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's been a good 10, 11 years since I've even sat in one of these. But holy moly, this drive's pretty good, man. Check it out. Yeah, it's definitely got some front end alignment issues. I noticed on the very edges in the front, you can tell it's wearing the tire on the outside. But the ride is really nice in this car. And actually all of them is pretty nice. But yeah, the brakes feel fantastic. It looks like somebody's put new calipers. I noticed when I was loading it on the trailer, they put new calipers and brake hoses on it, so that's a plus. You can tell they actually tried with it. Okay, should we go? Let's go right. Come on, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely got some drivability issues. Oh yeah, I mean this is a cool car. Yeah, it's kind of pulling to the left a little bit. But yeah, if you find one of these somewhere, I definitely, if you're wanting to build a little Ford or just get something that's, you know, cool and old to drive, one of these may be the ticket for you, man. It's definitely what I would go after, because now Mustangs, they've gotten pretty expensive. You can forget finding a fastback or anything like that. And even the coupes, they're still relatively inexpensive, but still, I mean, it's all expensive, you know. But I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I've saw one of these. I mean, I think this thing would be awesome. Put a Mustang 2 front end and put like a 5.3 with a turbo, or build like a little 408 or a 347 Ford. I think one of these would make an excellent drag car, man. Run some 1080s, 1070s, pump gas, that'd be awesome. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a little behind the times. Like, now if you don't have 1,200-1,300 horsepower, you ain't nothing. But I'm not in that scene. I still think a 10-second car is pretty cool, and you can relatively affordable. I'm not going to invest $100,000 in a race car to go 890s, 850s, whatever. I mean, you don't have to do that, but, and I'm sure there's guys that have done it cheaper, and that's cool. But, and I don't know, I thought about building something like that. Let's just get turned around here. And I thought about it, getting like an 85 Cutlass or like an 86 Buick. A G-body. I love G-bodies, man. Malibus. I just think those are the best. In my opinion, the G-bodies and the Fox body Mustangs are the best race car. The suspension geometry on those, in my opinion, is like the best. But yeah, I can definitely hear that exhaust leak going back to the car. Yeah, it's definitely got an exhaust leak right up close to the motor. So I'd imagine the little donut gasket on the bottom of the exhaust manifold. And then I'm sure the exhaust is rotten too, so I'll make a mention to the owner and see if they want to fix that or not. But yeah, as long as this thing doesn't have a burnt valve or something like that, I'm sure it just needs a good, going over. I'm gonna check the front end, see if I can't get it to idle pretty smooth, but definitely good bones here, so we'll get this thing back to the house. And I'm not for sure, I know the Pinto, and I've had one of those. I had a Pinto Sport, like a 70, I can't remember, 3 or 4. It had the 4-speed with the little 4-cylinder, had that little Weber carburetor on it. I had a lot of fun with that car. But I don't know if the Mavericks are the ones that supposedly, like the Pinto did where they blew up. I'm not for sure, but I don't know, man. I think this is a great car, so to the owners that own this, you did good. I think it's cool. Definitely make a good cruiser. But it is kind of crying for like a chopping V8 though, man. Like I said, I can just feel the little 6-point roll bar and all that kind of stuff going to the racetrack. But no, really, it's 250. It's got enough torque. Man, you could pull a small boat or you could pull a 0-turn lawnmower with it, like on a little trailer. It's got plenty of torque for that. Ooh, got some signal work. Ooh, it's definitely got some front end issues. That was like the first hard bump I've hit with it. But yeah, it feels like something bottomed out actually on. That's kind of weird. But I want to get one of these camera mounts for this thing instead of me holding it all the time. It's coming up. I'm learning more about this videoing process, so I'll be getting new fixtures to put the phone on and possibly some new camera. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, so far this is cool, man. I like it. I'm gonna get it in the garage next and jack it up and kind of go over, pull the air cleaner off, spray some brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and find out where I'd be willing to bet anything. This thing's got some pretty good vacuum leaks on it and all that kind of stuff. But it should be pretty easy. But yeah, that bump I just hit was pretty rough. So I'll definitely be going over that. But when we pull up here and park, I'll shut it off and we'll see if it starts a couple times, because to make sure I got a good connection. Because like I said, all these Fords I've had, if you don't have a really good connection in the positive and negatives, ooh, I hear. Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. It's grinding in the front when I hit the brake. Yeah, the old motor's blubbering. We'll pull up to the garage here. See if we can get this thing figured out. I'm gonna put the battery charger on it as well. Pump this battery up and see if I can get it going. So far I don't see any lights on. It says it's overheating or anything like that. Straighten up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, excellent torque out of these things, man. Like right off idle. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna shut it off. Let's let it wait a second. Not bad. Yeah, we definitely got a belt screw on. One more time. Uh-oh, we're dieseling a little bit. I'll be darned. Will the Philco work? Nope. Does the horn work? Woo! The horn works on it. That's pretty cool. Right on, man. Uh-oh. It'll shut off in a minute. Oh. Yeah, I like that buzzer when they work on these cars. But yeah, here's just an example. Definitely got some front end issues right there. different alignment. So yeah, let's I'll clean the garage out. I got a mess in here from working on everything else, but yeah, we'll clean the garage out and we'll get this thing inside. Come on, focus. And see if we can't get it. See what we can learn. Right off the bat, I noticed, and I could smell something when I got out of the car. And I was like, man, it just smells a little warm to me. So I done some checking. And our radiator top is about 190. Thermostat housing, we're about 217. We get over to the cylinder head, 202. Head down to the block there. See if we can get that 160. So it's not too hot, but I notice now the exhaust manifold is right there. 211, 210. It was a lot hotter than that earlier. So one thing I noticed, and this is another thing I kind of do just as a given on these things, this thing has no pressure on it. Like, very light pressure. Well, you know, water boils at 212 degrees at like 14 pounds of atmospheric pressure. Well, this has a 9-pound cap on it. That's weird. Because a 16-pound cap with 16 pounds of pressure on the cooling system should boil around 220, 225-ish. So already that's got to be wrong. But it's obviously been on there a while, so that's kind of weird. So I'm going to put a different cap on. I'm going to see what it calls for a brand new one. But yeah. So already I see that issue, but we'll pull the air cleaner off and then start going over some vacuum leaks.